John the Baptist was. When you see the New Testament writers applying texts that are specifically about Yahweh to Jesus in the New Testament, then you start seeing what's really going on here. And so what that means to you and I is we have this radical belief that the creator of this entire vast universe entered into his own universe in the person of Jesus Christ. And that means all of human knowledge is under his lordship, all of human government, everything. When we say Jesus is Lord, many people in evangelicalism think that what we're actually saying is, Jesus is my favorite religious figure. But that's not what we're saying when we're saying Jesus is Lord. Because if he truly is the creator made flesh, then he is Lord over everything. Every atom, every government, every action, he is Lord. And for us, we are to have in our minds, all believers, this isn't just advanced information for the super spiritual person that's really interested in theology. That's not who Peter's writing to. Peter's writing to all Christians. All Christians need to understand this. And with the Holy Spirit's help, all Christians can. We should never dumb this stuff down. No. Allow the Holy Spirit of God to lift up. Don't dumb the truth down. And so what we're being told is you and I, on a daily basis, are to set apart as holy the Messiah as Yahweh in the very center of our being. So that everything else in our life is to be seen through the filter of recognizing what it means to be a servant of the incarnate one, the God-man. There is no higher calling than that. Everything else has to be filtered through this. And it is only when we do that that we can then be always ready to give that apologion, that defense of the faith. But you'll notice, how many of you has it ever bothered you that when you look at 1 Peter 3:15, it says to everyone who asks you, because you see, we'd rather just sort of force them into the conversation, right? Trip them up, do whatever you need to do. Oh, sorry about that. Did you just trip? Here, let me tell you about Jesus. You know, that type of thing. That's not what Peter's talking about here. That's not what Peter's talking about here. Be ready to give that reasoned defense for the hope that is within you. The hope that is within you. To anyone who asks you. You see, here's the tough part about 1 Peter 3:15. What it's saying to you and I is that when you fulfill the command of the first part of the verse and sanctify Christ as Yahweh in your hearts, you place him in the center, he becomes the defining element of everything else in your life. That is going to change how you live so that other people outside the faith are going to look at you and go, you don't respond to things the same way the rest of us do. You don't respond to tragedy. You don't respond to things in the same way. Where did you get this hope? Because I don't have that hope. Where did you get this hope? And now you need to be ready to give the answer. And that's why these words are addressed not to the people who just love to get out there and, do the debates and everything else. There's nothing wrong with that. I've done a few myself. But to everybody, to every Christian man, every Christian woman. When you live in light of the lordship of Christ, it makes a difference in how you respond to things. And people are going to say, where'd you get that hope? And where to be ready. That's what it's about. That doesn't really fit with the standard apologetic use of 1 Peter 3:15, but that's what it's about. And so in discovering that, all of a sudden,